What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Making Podcasts Great Again. I am your tech stuff guy, Jay Nog, and we are here, of course, with the President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, how are you today?
I went to a soccer game today. That was new for me. But we want to show the world that we are the best at everything, even their stupid sports. So interesting though. A lot of nice foreign women at the site. They like it. The foreign women like soccer. So it's sort of interesting. There's obviously good parts of it, I guess.
Any body painting there? I see that sometimes on TV for these FIFA games, these women painting their bodies. Any of that there?
Fee fi fo fum. They no, I didn't. They keep the body painting whores away from me. They might be a threat. That level of sort of craziness.
Understandable.
But it was interesting. It was MetLife Stadium. Have you ever been to MetLife Stadium?
I have been there, yes.
It's I gotta say, I think it's a real dump.
This President, is there any way you can get a little closer to your microphone? We just get a little better volume.
Oh, we're doing this again. I'm really starting to get annoyed with the not you tech stuff, but there's other tech stuff people that are obviously doing horrible things. Can you hear me now? It's like a
Yeah,
barrage.
I think it's a little better. Yeah.
Let's see. You know what we're gonna do?
Oh, you just cut out. Now you cut out. Now I can't hear you.
Straight. Yeah, I'm showing
Now you're good. Now you're good.
how this is connected.
Now you cut out. Let's
There's
hear it.
gonna there's
Now
gonna
you're
be a
good.
time. There's gonna be a time where a president has to murder an entire company that makes certain microphones, and that day is coming soon. Do I sound good now?
Perfect now. Perfect. Very
Okay, well,
clear.
we're gonna do this. Like I feel like I'm doing human centipede. I'm just like, yeah, you cord, you bang the mic in the ass, and then the mic is in my face. It's a real nasty situation.
I was thinking, have you thought about getting one of these that like kind of so the microphone instead of going from the bottom up, it goes from the top to your face. So like it's a,
No, that's too much like having a penis in your face.
but I think you'll get
Like
the best quality sound out of it.
yeah, but it also would make me gay.
I didn't know a microphone stand makes you gay, but if it's gonna make you gay, I don't want to turn you gay.
Thank you. And we nothing wrong with gay other than we want you to leave the country and not exist. But there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't want to be it. And when you
Okay.
put a big microphone right in your face, dangling, it's one thing if it's coming up from the ground, like that's
Hmm.
like a tree. That's life. That's like plants. But if
Or an
it's
erection
dangling,
comes
no,
up.
no, it's actually not.
Okay.
It's instead, if it's dangling down, it's like you're submissive. It's like you're on your knees and the microphone is like, open up, baby.
Gotcha. So the microphone's like owning you.
It's dominating. You're supposed to dominate the microphone, not have the microphone dominate you like you're in prison. That's called a prison mic.
Now, Mr. President, this past week, an anniversary came up. One of the most important dates in American history, the date that the attempted assassination was on you. Um, Tell us, a year later, if you could relive that moment, what are your thoughts and feelings?
If I could relive that moment, it's a sacred day, of course. Many people are calling it bigger than 9/11, and I tend to agree. I think it was the biggest day in our nation's history ever. And when a president survives because God is MAGA, that's basically what happened. God is pro MAGA. You sort of pause and you say, "Wow, this is such a special moment in our country's history." And if I could do it all over again, I would arrange the exact same scenario. I would pay the nerdy guy to attempt to shoot my ear. and I would set it all up again. I would have all my people set up the fake assassination again.
Wouldn't you change like one thing about it? Maybe you would be strapped. So as you went down, you would return fire and take him out instead of someone else taking him out.
Now, what I would have done is I would have had one of the Secret Service agents replaced with like a busty stripper. And instead of screaming fight, fight, I would have screamed fuck, fuck, and had sex with the stripper on the stage. Wouldn't the country be even more inspired?
As you were entering the car, she mounts you.
But then you had to open up the sunroof, which is actually dangerous when you have an assassin, but he would be dead per our arrangement. So, all of a sudden you just see this blonde head poke up through the sunroof, making strong moaning sounds.
I like it.
So I think all I would do is I would arrange everything the same way, except I would then add sex.
Strong, very strong.
Very strong.
Now, have you been getting phone calls on this anniversary? People, remembering this fond date. Any phone calls from special people in your life?
I did. I received a lot of phone calls. Shinzo Abe's widow called me.
Oh, really? What did she say?
Because we're connected because he was assassinated. And if you remember, she remembers when I called him because you think of your friends during big moments, and you're so busy as president. I forgot that he had been assassinated. So I called him up to taunt him. It was a very odd moment because part of me knew he was assassinated because I was calling him to taunt him that I survived my assassination attempt, unlike him. So as you see, there's sort of a confusion there because it's like, well, if the joke is that he didn't survive, then who the hell is going to pick up his phone? And his widow picked up the phone, and she said, "He did, Mr. Trump." And I said, "Hello, Shataki. Is Shinzo there?" And it was right as I said, "Is Shinzo there?" that I remembered all of a sudden the craziness of what I was doing. And that's what happens though. Sometimes you're not thinking straight when somebody tries to assassinate you. It's a very traumatic thing. There's a lot of trauma.
And of course, you're too strong to see any kind of therapy for that trauma, correct?
We have a saying in the Trump family:
Mm-hmm.
therapy is a gateway to being a pussy.
It's a very famous saying.
It's very well known in the Trump family, which is why we have such little respect for my nasty niece, Mary Trump, who is a therapist. Wrote a very nasty book about me, which is not surprising because she's a therapist.
Now, it's been 1 year since this assassination attempt. Any new evidence? Because I know they were having trouble getting into the gentleman's phone, finding out emails, getting into his computer, things like that, and they were never able to crack his computer
And it
or cell
turns out
phone.
this sort of ties into another big story. I'm announcing tonight his cell phone also had the only copy of the Epstein files.
That's a huge problem then.
It's a big problem.
How do
The Butler assassin had all the Epstein files, only copy.
That's a that is a that sucks. We can't
There's
find out.
nobody would like. There's nobody tech stuff who would
Uh,
like to open up and share the Epstein files more than me. Nobody.
Of course.
I would do it faster than anybody ever. But they're on the Butler assassin's cell phone, which is encrypted and now melted in a volcano.
It's too bad. It's too bad.
It is too bad because nobody wants to release the Epstein files more than me.
I know this. And getting to the Epstein files. Now, I'm just curious here because there's a lot of Americans think they're,
And by the way, when
yes,
Democrats call it the Epstein files, they're being anti Semitic.
are they? Okay. Now, we were told that the Epstein files were um on the desk of, was it Pam Blondie? Is that her name?
Pam Bondi.
Bondi. Okay. She
Uh,
is a blonde though, isn't she?
she pretty fake, I think. But
Okay.
what Laura Loomer, the semen demon, calls her Pam Blondie.
Now, they were on her desk and she's been in many interviews saying that it was on her desk and now they don't exist. Please explain.
Well, it's very simple. The What she meant was like on her desk metaphorically, like they were on her agenda, part of her agenda. You see the difference there?
Yes.
They were on her metaphorical desk, but on her literal desk was just some anal bleaching kit and a gift coupon for Botox.
So there were no Epstein files on her desk. She assumed they were on her desk.
Like if I say as president, okay, and you know I'm very busy as president. If I say I have 42 trade deals on my desk right now.
Hmm.
Do you think that literally means I have 42 pieces of paper on my desk, or do you think it means that there's in my agenda, there's a tremendous amount of things?
I would assume in your agenda,
Thank
but
you.
with this Epstein list, that the list was seen by many people. Recently, this hacker released a bunch of the names and broke into some mainframe allegedly and released a bunch of names from that list. Former
Can I
presidents were
ask
on
you
that
to
list.
can I ask you to cite your sources
Johnny Hackerman, his name is. It was a tweet I saw. Um,
on Elon Musk's
I said allegedly.
site?
No, it wasn't Elon Musk. It was some random dude.
No,
Um,
no, but on his he owns Twitter. He owns
yes,
X.
on his site. Yes.
So it could be promoting anti-Trump propaganda.
100% could also be a bot. Yes. Um, how did something exist before and now not exist? Also, there's someone in jail because of the crimes that were committed with Epstein.
Oh, the jizz lane.
Yes. So there had to be people who were on this list and girls, I think hundreds of girls came out. We can't have hundreds of liars, can we?
Oh, that depends.
On.
Are they accusing Republicans or Democrats?
I think it's there's many people different people on this list allegedly. You have Republicans and Democrats on this list. Also Republican presidents and Democratic presidents.
Oh, well, okay. Well, then, you know what? I think the people accused Democrats are telling the truth. I think the
So the
people,
Democrats on the list are for sure on the list. The Republicans allegedly on the list, probably not on the list because invented to be on the list because the Democrats are on the list.
exactly. You
Yeah.
got it.
I mean, that
It's a total witch hunt.
makes now this all makes sense. Now, you know what? I was reading all these things and I was like, I'm so confused. But when I had this podcast with the president, he's going to clear everything up. And now everything crystal. Thank you, Mr. President.
Like Pepsi, totally crystal.
Um, is there anything else you want to tell us about this Epstein list or anything along with that, just so people aren't confused about any of this?
Let's just get it. Let's get it out in the open for
Hmm.
at least our listeners. They deserve that. I did attend Epstein Island. I think nobody is confused about that, except all of my supporters who never read that or heard it from their sources. So they're sort of kind of confused. They're like, wait, what was Trump hanging out with Jeff Epstein 30 times? So they're a little confused. But
Hmm.
I am assuring all of my supporters, I only went to Epstein Island for the articles.
I thought you went because lots of good fruit They grow their own fruit there and vegetables, and I thought you went there just for the food.
No, just the articles.
Articles. Okay. Um, I'm sure we will talk more about the Epstein list in
Well,
the
I'm not sure.
future.
I think we basically handled it. I think it's case closed now after we had that great discussion.
Perfect. I don't think it's going to get brought up again.
Crystal, like Gail.
That's right. Now, Mr. President, some great news. You will be appearing at a smaller venue this time because you want to make this special for the fans here at Grove 34 in Astoria, Queens on August 7th. That is a Thursday, grove34.com for tickets. The show will feature, of course, our President of the United States, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Will feature myself and then also two special guests. We will have Vice President J.D. Vance in attendance, and we need to balance out this Republican night with former President Barack Obama will be joining us as well.
Horrible.
You do not want to miss this. It will sell out. So grab your tickets, grove34.com. I think tickets are $15. Um,
Are they going to be in the show notes? You're going to put the link in the show notes?
I will put the link in the show notes so you can check that out. So anyone in the tri-state area, Thursday night, it's summertime, you work slower, come on down for an intimate show at Grove 34 in Astoria, Queens. And that will include the president, former President Obama,
And
J.D.
I
Vance, and
actually
myself.
I call that place Grope 34 because I've groped 34 women there.
Come down to Grove 34 or Grove 34, whichever you prefer. That is August 7th in a few weeks on Thursday night at 8 p.m. And also, please join the Patreon if you enjoy the show, patreon.com/MPGA. We do have our Perfect 10 episode will be on July 29th. That is a Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're told this time and this night we're going to have the most people out for this one, 9 p.m. Eastern on July 29th for the Perfect 10. So join the Patreon, patreon.com/MPGA, and to see if our Patreon president stays Patreon president. Um, Mr. President, these tariffs allegedly are have brought in already billions of dollars. Where is this money going?
Well, the great thing about it in terms of tariffs is we put the tariff, and then the American company who gets the goods pays us the tariff. So just like we want our products to be made in America, our tariffs are being paid by Americans. We only accept, so it's all in America.
So how is that raising money for America?
It's sort of
Isn't that kind of
raised,
taking money from Americans?
but then it's giving to Americans
So you're taking money from Americans, but then giving to only the rich Americans.
and some upper middle class Americans as well.
Well, that sounds fair.
That's very fair because eventually they used to have trickle down economics. This used to be a theory where if the rich made enough money, it would trickle down to poor people and they'd enjoy it too. And that's sort of a false theory. What we have a Trump economic theory called boredom pissing, which is when rich people get so much money and get bored, they start pissing the money away, and some of it trickles and splashes the faces of poor people. And if they're lucky, they can catch some of it.
It's, it sounds very very nice for the middle class and lower class being pissed on by the rich.
Metaphorically, it has
Of course.
it has more the consistency of semen, if we're being honest. But we just say pissing because it's sort of more like a sprinkler instead of like getting yogurt dumped on your head.
That seems fair.
And yet they never say thank you. Have you noticed that they never say thank you, sir? You didn't have to do this, but thank you. We're glad we are bored with your fifth house and your sixth mistress. Thank you for purchasing some stuff from us.
So no one ever thanks for boredom pissing economics.
Nobody. And you know what? We don't do it for the thank you. We do it because it's right. We do it because it helps our country.
Is boredom pissing economics a class taught at Bible Tech Militia?
I hope you mean Idaho Militia Christian Bible Tech State College.
Of course.
Well, of course it is. I mean, it's the
Can
dominant
you major
economic
in it?
theory. You'd major in economics, but the school, they call it a school of thought.
Hmm.
The economic theory that we teach at Idaho Militia Christian Bible Tech State College is boredom pissing theory of economics. It's a very new sort of a new school, but it's being proven very correct.
Well, anyone who is enrolling this fall, I would definitely sign up because it is on the rise and probably easier to get a job if you are a
And actually, you
professional.
know what? It's early, but the cow tipping team is already there for summer practice
Mm.
before the fall season.
How's the football team looking this year?
No, they don't have a football team.
Mm.
It's a more elite small school, so they really don't have the amount of students for a football
Okay.
team, but they are a preseason number three in cow tipping
That's very good. That's awesome. That's
and number
really
two in farm barnyard animal sexual assault.
mm. I didn't know that was a team. Assaulting farm animals is
And number two,
I don't know if you know about this sport. Maybe you can explain how you win, how you lose. I'm curious.
well, sure, it's you know how we used to like boxing and wrestling, and now we have MMA, which is sort of a more aggressive,
Yes.
popular, intense form. Well, on certain schools and places, you have rodeos and you have like cattle tying and all these sort of ranch type sports that they do.
Yes.
And those are like the boxing and wrestling of like the farm ranch sports world. But at Idaho Militia Christian, they sort of pioneered a more aggressive form of ranch and farm sporting, the same way MMA did. So, uh, it was I think during the pandemic actually when everybody was social distancing, you didn't have to socially distance from animals, so they it was first turned into an intercollegiate sport at Idaho Militia Christian during the pandemic, uh, a barnyard animal penetration. And so you
So
have
penetration wins.
well, it's you know how in a rodeo you got to hang on for 8 seconds. You've got to stay inside the animal for 8 seconds. So
Nice.
you'll see a guy like bucking and like oh he's okay he's in the cow he's in the cow. Oh, this is a tough one, or he got low, he got in the pig. That's pretty good because that takes a lot of core strength and ankle strength to get low. So they're number two in the country right now. I think they have a shot at a national championship. Obviously, if you're at all familiar with the sport, you know that the number one team is obviously the Oklahoma Military State Bible Evangelical Christian Sanitation Tech State uh, fighting dusty pussies.
Long name for a college on that scoreboard.
No, because obviously Oklahoma had all the dust storms,
Yeah, of course.
and the founder of the school was Lavernicus Pussianimous. And so they shortened it. Obviously, you can't be, with a school that long, you can't have a long mascot also. So they just call themselves the Pussies for short.
That's nice.
The
That's
Oklahoma Dusty Pussies for short. ODP, yeah, you know me.
nice. Um, Mr. President, I wanted to get to the next piece of news. You're going to be
Do we
visiting
really
King.
need new news after that beautiful
I
story about
understand.
collegiate sports?
I know it's really hard to go from the Dusty Pussies to
I
King
wish I could have
Charles,
brought
but I'm
that
going to
up for
try.
I wish I could have brought that up for the first time at the live show with Obama and JD Vance.
We could revisit it. Um, you're visiting King Charles in the UK. You're looking forward to the trip.
I am because I respect the fact that he stayed very loyal to his mistress, and he showed great patience and great respect. I would have obviously murdered my mother if I had a chance to be king, and he was very patient and waited for her to die. So I respect that sort of patience. But he's a little woke on the climate issue, so we have disagreements. But he's always been a pretty solid person. I liked his mother more, but I've never had problems with King Charles, and he
Right.
has very great respect for Charles in charge.
Mhm.
I'm bringing Scott Baio with me because isn't that it's about time we decide who really is in charge, King Charles or Charles in charge,
It's gonna
because
be a competition.
King Charles runs the United Kingdom, but Charles in charge is in charge of our days and our nights. So it's a one controls time, the other controls the kingdom. So it's a very Bayo versus Charles. That's pay-per-view.
Oh wow. Is Jake Paul gonna be on the card?
He's not. Maybe he could be the promoter. We could do it with his promotion company.
I'd suggest it.
Wouldn't you buy that pay-per-view? King
Hun-
Charles versus Charles in charge.
100%. Um,
The
uh,
mic has been good since
perfect.
early. Okay, good. We like that.
Yes. I know I don't want to make you gay, but just maybe to think about that kind of microphone holder.
Let me
But
show you something. This is just for the video people. Look at this. Strong president. Okay, strong president. Gang banged president. Total gang bang.
sound like a deeper voice in that gangbang.
Did it sound deeper?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh well, maybe you know what. That was my natural testosterone and heterosexuality resisting the
The gangbang.
microphone.
We have a few more stories, Mr. President.
I'll allow you to do one more.
We got a few more. You said that tariffs. Now, with your tariffs, you're being fair because you're saying allegedly pharma is going to be spending 200% tariffs on pharma. You said coming soon. That would be huge, and you would create a lot of enemies, I think.
Uh, you know what? Some of these other countries. What's important is that win. Oh, microphone issues. Check one,
Good.
check two.
We're good.
Uh, some people will be upset that their drugs cost more temporarily. Some people might not even be able to afford the drugs temporarily. Some of those people might die. But on the plus side, I'll eventually win.
So it doesn't matter as long as you win at the end.
I mean, that's sort of it's not who's winning in the first quarter. It's who wins when the final buzzer goes off. So I don't care how many dead diabetics I have to crawl over. Once those countries lower their tariffs and say, "Sir, you won," I think they'll all be in heaven with Fred Trump going, "Good job, son."
That's right. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Um, Now, I know we haven't spoken about these horrible tragedy in Texas with these floods. There are still people missing.
Well,
Um,
what
oh,
happened?
I mean, there were these floods in Texas due to the heavy rainfall. I don't know, you heard of Camp Mystic. Bunch of girls died from the camp,
Well,
drowned.
what happened? Was there a trans girl in the camp? Is that did the trans kid kill them all?
There was no trans kid in the camp, but
Okay, well then what's everybody complaining? I mean, then we've done our job. What are people complaining about?
well, all these innocent people died, and not the proper precautions were taken, and we weren't prepared for it. Also, there were a lot of people were fired from FEMA, so there weren't a lot of people from FEMA who could have
We know
helped out
that
from
we
this.
know obviously that that's Sleepy Joe Biden's fault.
And then your boy Ted Cruz was in Greece with his family, heard of the news of the floods, and then stayed an extra day or two because he didn't want to miss the Parthenon and all the good sightseeing there. What are your thoughts on that? It's a pretty big scumbag move. I don't think you've even do something like that.
What do you mean not even? You suggest you should say I would be the last person to ever do something like that. What is you said not even as if you kind of expect me to do something pretty bad, as if I'm not a great president tech stuff.
I just think you do some questionable things sometimes, but I don't think you would do something as questionable as this.
Well, in Ted Cruz's defense, Greece is the word.
Would you do you think he should have stayed for extra time after hearing about this tragedy? Shouldn't he go home? Didn't he do this another time where there was a tragedy in the
No, he
state as
tried to
well?
leave. He tried to leave to go to Cancun. He was leaving the snowstorm in
That's
Texas to go
right.
to Cancun. He likes, I think what better Greek tragedy? It's like where tragedy was invented. So maybe he was doing, and I don't like Ted Cruz, but maybe he was just doing research on tragedy and said, what better place to learn about tragedy than Greek tragedy? Yogurt, salad, tragedy. Those are the big three of Greece. And it is, by the way, the word.
Do you agree with his decision?
I don't, I wouldn't have done it, but I think, vacations are expensive.
They are
You might
expensive.
not get a refund on your tickets or your hotel. Hotels.com, they don't want to give you the refund if once you check in.
I mean,
I've tried.
I think Ted Cruz.
I once used hotels.com and I actually put a dead hooker in my bed because I wanted to leave early. And I said, excuse me, there's a dead hooker in my room. I'd like to cancel this reservation. And they were very strict and they said, no, we're not doing that. You read the fine print.
If you had booked it through the hotel, maybe you could have gotten it,
That's true.
not a third party.
That's true.
Yeah,
Travago.
exactly. Now, Mr. President, I don't think this is very presidential. I think this is a little beneath you, but Rosie O'Donnell has been very outspoken about you in a negative way. And you said that you were threatening to revoke her citizenship, which is not legal at all. So why even say something like that? Either fight and call her the pig or call her this or call her names, but why threaten something that you can't do?
Well, we're looking into whether I can do it because obviously she is a threat to national security. And you know the rule. If you stay in, if you leave our country and say bad things, I think you should be able to lose your citizenship. So we're looking into it. The people are saying the law and the Constitution are sort of not necessarily for this,
Hmm.
but we're looking. We're going to have great constitutional experts look at it and say, is it possible to do this?
She's in England right now, I think. Is that true?
I've heard she's in Ireland.
Ireland. Okay. And she won't be coming back. I mean, so what's the problem? She's not here, so who cares?
Well, but can we go off the podcast record?
We are off.
The Epstein files.
She has them.
We just need to distract. They're annoying me with the Epstein files took, so I thought let's go after Rosie O'Donnell. It did well for me the first time I went after her.
There you go.
So we'll go back on the podcast record, please.
Little smoke screen action.
Excuse me, can we go back on the podcast record, please?
We're back on the podcast record.
We just feel that we need to make it clear to people that you can't badmouth America. I don't know why they think we have some sort of freedom of speech.
I don't know why either. It's you always talk about freedom of speech, so that's why I think people think we have it.
Well, they misinterpret. They misinterpret. I believe in freedom. Some free sum of speech. People have mispronounced it for years. It's free sum of speech. Like sum of speech is free.
So case by case basis of freedom.
A free sum. That's why we call it free
Right.
sum of speech. Free dumb. Why would we want dumb? Why would we want dumb speech?
That's true.
It actually makes no sense. It's actually been incredibly stupid. We've been calling freedom like freedom,
Yeah. It's making fun of it.
and I don't believe in that tech stuff. I believe in taking it very seriously.
And how seriously can you take the free of it if it's followed by something dumb?
Exactly. If it was free sample of speech, I'd be like, well, we like that when we go to a food court and you get a free sample. But if somebody said, would you like some free dumb? I would say, absolutely not. Get your free dumb out of my face.
Um, Mr. President, so I will look to see if Rosie O'Donnell will be allowed back into this country in the future. Now, I don't know if you saw this clip go kind of viral on Twitter. JD Vance, don't know how athletic he is from his past, but did you catch that video of him running?
I did, and we came up with a new nickname for him in the White House. We call him Slob Cruz.
He looked, it was like his body parts never moved that way together.
It looked like a guy who, it looked like a 70-year-old trying to run after his grandkid, except he's like 40 and young looking.
But there were different, it was like an evolution of the run from the beginning to the end of it where to get into it, the his body parts weren't working in unison.
Well, you've got to, you've got because he's a very multifaceted person. He's part Yale Law School, he's part redneck opioid, chubby guy. He's part, U.S. Marine, part chubby sellout bitch. So it's a lot of parts. It's a lot of parts to cut, like a Voltron of scumbaggery. It's like the Power Rangers. He's got to like, Power Rangers of MAGA. He's got to like join together and get everything moving. It's a very stupid. He's a stupid guy, but we like him. He's very strong.
Well, Mr. President, you're very busy. All these things we were talking about this week, a lot of things in your plate. Appreciate you joining us again. To all the Patreon patriots, we appreciate you. And if you're not a Patreon patriot, get on board. Patreon.com/MPGA.
I
And
felt
if
rusty with the week off. I felt a little rusty.
I thought you were fantastic, Mr. President.
Oh, well, thank you.
And also our Perfect 10 live episode is on July 29th. That is Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So check that out if you are a
Oh, by the
Perfect 10
way,
Patreon patriot. Yes,
while you're talking Patreon, at the end of this week, they're gonna get a review of Superman, woke Superman, and Megan 2.0. So big double movie review coming this Thursday or Friday. So join up if you can't do the perfect 10 because you're very sad. You can join the Ivanka level, which is 690.
that's right. And you get lots of hundreds of hours of bonus material, Fred Trump traditions, interviews, special guests. Check it out. Patreon.com/MPGA. And also on August 7th, we will put the ticket link in the notes at Grove 34 in Astoria, Queens. It is a small room. It will sell out. We have special guests, former President Obama, Vice President J.D. Vance, President Trump, myself will be there. It is going to be an awesome night. You don't want to miss it. So it is grove34.com for tickets. It is the 7th of August at 8 p.m. If you are in the Westchester area this Friday night, I will be at Tilly's. So comedy show at Tilly's in Westchester. Tilly's Farm, I think it's called. And I will be there at 8 p.m. on Friday, the 18th.
Don't have
Um,
sex with the barnyard animals at the farm.
I will do my best. No promises, Mr. President. Um, and Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Yes, well, I have a couple of announcements very quickly. My Canada, hopefully the end of this month, the Trump versus Canada special from my great appearance in Toronto will be up on my YouTube, which is a site. Also, hello everybody, it's JL. Now I can talk as myself. Um, August 1st, I got a show in Newark, New Jersey. That obviously
That went crazy right there for a second.
perfect. August 1st, Newark, New Jersey. August 7th, obviously, this show, the Grove 34 show. And August 23rd, headlining a charity show as both myself and Trump in St. Catharines, Ontario. That's Saturday, August 23rd for the Canada fans who are, somewhere in that area. It's a Saturday. Hopefully you can make it. It goes for Ukraine funding. Um, so yeah, those are the three shows coming up. If you want other stuff from me, Rain on Your Parade is back, new every week, wherever you listen to podcasts or on my YouTube channel. And check out my Patreon if you got some money to burn. Only $3 a month for a lot of good stuff every month. So that's it, everybody. Thank you. Sorry if I was a little lackluster. I'm very tired right now, not sleeping well. God help us all.